Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Mandela Effect. As I usually say, this is Harmony speaking. I do not know why I never made this video before, but I was praying this morning, and God requested that I make this video. So I'm sorry I never made this video before. Just don't know why I didn't think of it. Hopefully, this is old news for most of you folks, and for you, for the others, if it's new news, then, well, I'm glad you got this information. Basically, to know that you are communicating with God, us old Christians have an old saying, I'm waiting on the Lord. They go into deep prayer and they wait on the Lord and they wait. People who meditate will clear all their mind of thoughts, whether you pray, meditate, whatever method you use, or if you go to a peaceful state of relaxation. It's rather difficult to silence and quiet the mind, but you want to achieve a state of total peace, tranquility, or be total relaxed, and to clear your mind of all thoughts. Just be void, blank of thoughts. And in that moment, at the highest level, because your eyes are closed and everything is dark, everything will just become a brilliant, bright light, so bright you're surprised you can even look into it. And at that moment, you are actually in the presence of God. Some people say creator, some say source, whatever name you want to use. The person, the being who created everything in the universe, God. So, but that's a really difficult thing to do, to see the light. But it's good enough to simply be in a state of total void of thought, where you have no thoughts at all. And then God comes to you. There's really no good way to describe this in the English language or any language, and I will just simply do the best I can here. You get an impression. You don't hear anything, you don't see anything, well, unless you at that higher state. You just get this impression, and all of a sudden you just know what the message is that God wants to communicate to you. Some people may describe it as a download. You just all of a sudden get this download, and all of a sudden know. And that's the way God really does communicate directly with us here. Now, on a completely different, unrelated topic, yes, he does send messengers, and these messengers, benevolent beings, will talk to us in our minds, kind of like you might have the thought, gee, I'm hungry for dinner. Do I want a pizza, hamburger, or should I be healthy and have a salad or something tonight? Thoughts that you have in your head every day, benevolent beings can and do communicate with you in that manner. The issue becomes where the malevolent, the bad guys, can also do the same thing. So that's why I made the video where the battle is in your mind. Basically, every time a thought comes into your mind, simply don't just entertain it. Stop, challenge it, and say, where did that thought come from? Did that thought come from me? Like, was I hungry? Then sure. Or if you're trying to diet and lose weight, maybe the thought didn't come from you. We have to constantly, everybody gets angry at some time or has some kind of what we call negative emotion. You want to stop and say, where did that thought come from? Where did that emotion come from? Did that come from me or from somewhere else? And if it came from somewhere else, you don't have to entertain it. You don't have to challenge it. You can just simply say, that did not come from me, and I choose not to entertain that thought, and simply get rid of it at that moment. Because if thoughts come into you and you don't challenge them, and then they manifest inside you, and they tend to grow a little bit. And nobody wants that. At least I hope you don't. So the battle really is in your mind, and you have to challenge the messages that you actually, hear as in